This is the second video looking at the derivative of y equals negative x to the n. So let's write our limit. Got f(x) plus h minus x f of x all over h to 0, so we got x plus h to the minus n minus x to the n all over h. Now I'm going to rewrite this as 1 over h x plus h to the n, subtract 1 over h x to the n. So let's take the h out. And we're left with 1 over x plus h to the n, 1 over x to the n. And let's cross multiply, so we get x to the n minus x plus h to the n all over x plus h to the n to the n. Now this helps because it gives us positive powers, which makes the algebra easier. And then on the outside we've got 1 over h. So we've got limit h to 0, 1 over h, it's not h, it's 5, okay, so we've got x to the n minus, we use binomial, okay, so we could rewrite this as x to the n minus and we can distribute this into our summation. Let's write the, and we've got I set to 0 there, so let's distribute this in. So we get 2n minus 1 h to the I. Okay, so let's get some space. We'll continue this down here. Okay, so we've got the limit h to 0, 1 over h, so we've got x to the n minus, let's open up the bracket, and let's do L of 0, x to the n, h to the 0, let's do L1, x to the n minus 1, h to the 1, then we start at 2 and li x to the n minus 1 h to the I. Okay, and let's do the same down the bottom. So we get L0 x to n minus 1 h to the 0 plus L1 x 2 to the n. That should not be there. To the n. Yep. Okay, so back on track. H to the 1 plus, okay, I equals 2 n, so we get li x to the n 2n minus 1 h to the I. Okay, so I hope you can see without doing this. L0 is 1, this gives 1, so we can cancel this, that just goes. We can then factorize out AH. I'm running out of space, so I'm going to do this factorization here. We can factorize out to h. So this h goes. And we're just left with I minus 1. That goes. That goes. We're then going to set h equal to 0. Well, if we do that, that goes. There's no h here. That's just 1. All this goes. So we are left with dy by dx is L1 x to the n minus 1 all over L1 L0 rather x to the 2n. Well, minus from here, so we know that L1 is n, x to the n minus 1 all over x to the 2n. Hope this works out. So we've got negative n over x to the 2n multiplied by x minus n plus 1. So that gives negative n over x to the n plus 1. And let's double check to see if that's right. So we've got y equals x to the minus n. So we've got dy by dx multiplied by the power, which is negative n. Subtract 1 from the power, minus n x to the n plus 1. Voila, Q, E, D.